This video is about the alpha loved a vampire but the goddess punished his pack. If this story captivates you, please like the video, share it with loved ones, and write in the comments how it touched your heart. The moon hung low in the night sky, casting silver beams across the dense forest that surrounded Blackwood Pack's territory. The wind whispered through the trees, carrying the scent of pine and earth, but tonight a different aroma lingered, one that sent shivers down the spine of every wolf in the pack. Asher, the alpha of Blackwood, stood at the edge of a cliff, his muscles tense beneath his ebony fur. His heart raced, not from the thrill of the hunt, but from an intoxicating mixture of fear and longing. He had sensed her presence long before he laid eyes on her, Leela, the vampire who haunted his dreams. Their worlds were starkly different, yet he felt an unexplainable pull toward her. Alpha, their voice broke through his reverie. It was Ethan, his beta panting and clearly distressed. "You shouldn't be here. The council will not tolerate it." "I don't care about the council," Asher interrupted, his voice low and fierce. "I have to see her, Ethan. Do you understand? She is my destiny." Ethan's eyes widened. "Do you even know what you are saying? Vampires are our enemies, Asher. If the goddess finds out The goddess?" Asher spat, the frustration boiling over. "What has she done for us lately? She has punished our pack, forced us into hiding. I am done playing her game. I need to follow my heart." Ethan's expression softened, recognizing the turmoil within his alpha. "I understand, but love like this is dangerous. If the goddess sees it as a betrayal, she could curse us all." Asher's jaw clenched. "Then let her try. I'd rather face her wrath than live a life without Leela." With a resigned sigh, Ethan nodded, though his worry was evident. "Just be careful. I'll keep an eye on the pack, but if anyone finds out Asher brushed past him, his heart thundering with every step he took toward the clearing where he often met Leela. The moonlight illuminated the soft silhouette of the vampire, her porcelain skin glowing like a beacon against the darkened woods. "Leela," he breathed, taking a step closer, unable to resist the magnetic force that pulled him toward her. She turned, her crimson eyes shimmering with surprise and delight. "Asher." Her voice, sultry and melodic, made his heart skip. "You came." "Of course I did. I can stay away from you." He stepped closer, the air thick with tension. "It feels as if the universe is conspiring to keep us apart." "Maybe it is," Leela said, her gaze dropping momentarily. "We both know the risks your pack, my kind." "They don't matter," he said, reaching for her hand and intertwining their fingers. "What matters is this connection. It is more powerful than any rule or law. Still, the council will never accept us. You're the alpha, Asher. Your duty is to your pack," she reminded him, but the longing in her voice was undeniable. "I am duty-bound to my pack, but I would sacrifice anything for you," he confessed, his eyes holding hers with fierce intensity. A flicker of hope danced in Leela's gaze, but it was quickly shadowed by doubt. "What if we were caught? What if the goddess punishes you?" "Let her." His voice was firm. "Let her see our love. She can dictate who we are meant to be." Suddenly, the air grew thick, a chill creeping over the clearing. The once serene night felt ominous, the shadows deepening. "Asher," Leela whispered, her voice shaky. "Something is wrong." Before he could respond, a figure emerged from the trees, a shadow cloaked in darkness. It was Theana, the elder of the Blackwood pack, her presence suffocating and imposing. "Asher, you defy our ways." Asher instinctively stepped in front of Leela, his body tense. "This is not what it looks like, Theana." "Isn't it? You disgrace your lineage by consorting with the vampire," she hissed, her voice laced with venom. "The goddess has sent omens. You must cease this madness." Leela's grip on Asher tightened, fear flickering in her eyes. "I am not a threat," she pleaded. "I've only come to offer peace." Theana's laugh echoed like thunder. "Peace? Your kind has always hunted us. You think we would accept a vampire among us? You're a fool, Alpha." Asher's heart raced. "I choose my own path, Theana. I will not allow you or anyone else to dictate my choices." "Foolish boy, if you pursue this, the goddess will strike," she warned, her eyes narrowing into slits. "There will be consequences." "Let her come," he challenged, fear igniting his spirit. "I'll face her wrathful Leela." Theana's expression twisted into a sinister grin. "Then so be it. You've chosen your fate." With that, she vanished into the shadows, leaving behind a suffocating silence. Leela turned to Asher, her eyes filled with fear and uncertainty. "What have you done?" "I'll protect you, I promise," he swore, determination surging within him. But doubt crept in like a poisonous vine. As he gazed into Leela's eyes, he couldn't shake the feeling that their love might bring ruin, not only to themselves but to the entire pack. Days turned into weeks as tensions between the vampire clans and the werewolves escalated. Asher found himself torn between the duty he felt toward his pack and his fierce love for Leela. Every stolen moment together became a precious treasure, yet with each passing day the threat of discovery loomed heavier. One evening, beneath the silvery light of the full moon, Asher and Leela found a secluded grove. The air was electric with unspoken words and the gravity of their situation. "Asher," Leela whispered, her voice breaking. "I fear for you. If the goddess punishes your pack, it will be my fault." "No," he insisted, cupping her face in his hands. "This is not your fault. Love is never wrong, no matter what they say. But what if your pack rejects you? What if they turn against you?" She pressed, tears glimmering in her eyes. "I can bear the thought of you suffering for me." The vulnerability in her voice pierced his heart. "I would endure anything for you, Leela. You are worth the risk." I refused to let fear dictate our love. "I wish things were different," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. "I wish we could be together without fear." "Maybe one day we will," he replied, searching her eyes for hope. "Maybe we can change the world, challenge the old ways together." But just as their lips were about to meet, a howl echoed through the night, chilling their moment. Panic surged through Asher. "We have to go. They've found us." As they raced back through the woods, his heart pounded not just from the chase, but from the realization that their love was not only forbidden, it was a spark that could ignite a war between their worlds. "Promise me you'll stay safe," Leela urged, her voice trembling as they reached the edge of the territory. "I promise," he vowed, stealing one last kiss, igniting a flame of longing within them both. "No matter what happens, you read my heart, Leela." As they parted, the weight of destiny hung thick in the air, a fragile thread that bound their souls together amidst the chaos. Little did they know, the goddess was watching, her eyes dark and vengeful, ready to unleash her punishment upon those who dared defy her will. Asher's heart raced, caught between love and loyalty, knowing their fate was entwined in a way that could change the course of their worlds forever. Asher stood at the border of Blackwood territory, the moon illuminating his path. Each howl of his pack echoed in his ears, a reminder of the loyalty and love he felt for them. Yet even stronger was the pull toward Leela, the vampire who had wrenched his heart from its familiar cage. Days had slipped by in a haze of stolen moments and whispered promises, each moment a fleeting glimpse of the love they shared, now overshadowed by the looming threat of the goddess's wrath. He couldn't shake the fear that clung to him like shadows in the night. "Elfath?" Ethan's voice broke through his thoughts as he caught up to Asher, panting slightly. "We need you back. Tensions are rising. The council is furious about your absence." "I know, Ethan." Asher's voice was heavy with unyielding determination. "But I can abandon Leela. I want to." "Fate is seldom kind, my friend. Love and loyalty are in constant battle," Ethan replied, his eyes searching Asher's face for understanding. "This isn't just about you anymore. Your choices affect us all." Asher stood firm, his heart torn. "I didn't choose this, Ethan, but I choose love. I can let her go. I want to let fear dictate my heart." Ethan sighed, a mixture of admiration and concern etched on his features. "Then let us at least keep her away from the pack. We need to keep this quiet until we can find a resolution." Asher nodded, but the weight of his impending choice felt heavier than ever. He was leading them into the unknown. He turned, heart racing as he dashed back through the trees. He had to see Leela again. Leela leaned against the ancient oak, her ethereal beauty glowing softly in the moonlight. The cold night air surrounded her, but the warmth of her longing for Asher kept her spirit alight. She had never imagined she would find solace in a werewolf's embrace, yet here she was, torn between worlds. "Asher." Her heart fluttered as he approached, his presence commanding yet gentle. "I was starting to think you wouldn't come. I would crawl through fire for you," he breathed, stepping closer, the space between them crackling with unspoken words and promises. "I can stay away." Things are escalating. The vampire clans are restless, and the council. She hesitated, her eyes shadowed with worry. "They want you to choose, your pack or me." "I choose you." The words spilled from his lips, raw and unfiltered. "But I fear what it will cost us." Leela stepped back, her heart aching at the thought of being the cause of his turmoil. "Asher, I can let you sacrifice everything. You read the Alpha. You have a duty." "A duty means nothing if it tears my heart apart," he replied, taking her hands in his. The connection between them surged like lightning, electric and undeniable. "We can face them together." Tears glistened in her eyes. "But what if it leads to war? What if the goddess punishes your pack for us?" "Then let her come," he said fiercely. "We will fight for our love." Suddenly the air shifted, a heavy tension blanketing the grove. A new howl echoed through the trees, piercing the stillness like a dagger. Asher, they were getting closer. Leela breathed, fear evident. We need to hide, he urged, pulling her deeper into the shadows, each heartbeat echoing their mutual panic. As they crouched in the underbrush, they could hear the sounds of the pack moving through the forest, searching for their alpha. Are they looking for you? Leela whispered, breathlessly gripping his arm. They don't know, Asher replied, his brow furrowing with concern. But we can let them find you here, promise me. If they come, you'll leave. No, I want to leave you. Her voice was resolute, yet trembling with the weight of uncertainty. Please, Leela, I can lose you. His voice cracked, torn between desperation and love. You are my heart. Before she could respond, the rustle of leaves announced the approach of Ethan and a few other pack members. Asher! Ethan called, the urgency palpable in his voice. We're going to the borders. The vampire clans are gathering. We need you now. Asher's heart banged in his chest, the conflict clawing at him. I can go without her, he whispered, urgency pouring through him. Alpha? Ethan's voice held a warning note. Your pack needs you. We can afford to show weakness. With a heavy heart, Asher turned to Leela. You need to go, now. Tears streamed down her cheeks as she cupped his face in her hands. This isn't over. I will find you. Their lips brushed in a desperate kiss that ignited a flame between them, a promise and a farewell intertwined. Asher watched her slip away into the shadows, his stomach twisting with the knowledge that their love was a precarious thing, teetering on the edge of disaster. The clearing where the pack gathered was tense, the atmosphere thick with anxiety. Asher arrived, every eye turning toward him, filled with expectation and challenge. He felt their gazes pierce him, and he stood tall, masking the turmoil within. Alpha, Thena's voice rang out, sharp and demanding. You have defied our ways, and now consequences loom. The council demands your allegiance. I will not turn my back on love, Asher declared, his voice steady. Leela is not our enemy. Leela is a vampire. Thena hissed, her eyes cold as ice. You risk the wrath of the goddess. We need unity, not division. You must sever this bond. Asher felt a rising tide of rebellion within him. You don't understand. We can let hatred dictate our lives. Love transcends all. It can bring peace. We've seen what love can do, she snapped. It can destroy. If you insist on pursuing this, you'll face the council's judgment, and so will our pack. Asher clenched his fists, the weight of his choices bearing down on him. Then let them judge me. I'll fight for Leela with every fiber of my being. Ethan stepped forward, concern etched in his features. Asher, please think about your pack. We can afford to fracture. Not now. The pack murmured among themselves, uncertainty weaving through their ranks like a fog. Asher's heart thudded in his chest, torn between loyalty and love. We are wolves bound by instinct, yet love is our greatest instinct, he implored. We can choose a different path, a path of unity instead of enmity. But even as he spoke, he saw the doubt in their eyes. The council would not accept this, and neither would the goddess. As the days passed, the atmosphere shifted again. Asher's resolve was tested at every turn, his pack's suspicion growing. Leela had become a ghost lingering in his heart, and every moment spent apart felt like an eternity. One night, during a council meeting, whispers of betrayal and danger filled the air. A voice from the back called out, We can't trust an alpha who consorts with a vampire. He is a traitor. A wave of anger surged through Asher. I am no traitor. I am fighting for a future where love is stronger than hatred. The council erupted in chaos, voices clamoring for his head. You must choose, Alpha, your pack, or this vampire. Enough. Thena's voice cut through the noise like a sharp blade. This is madness, and it will destroy us. Asher stood firm, heart racing. I choose love, I choose Leela, and if you can accept that, then I will fight for her against you all. The room fell silent, the weight of his words settling like a heavy fog. The council's faces twisted in disbelief, fury bubbling beneath the surface. Outside, the moon hung high, as silent witness to the drama unfolding. Asher found a moment of solitude, his heart heavy with uncertainty. Why do you persist? A voice asked, familiar and melodic. Leela stepped from the shadows, her eyes shining with concern. You were risking everything. I do risk it all for you, Leela. The words poured from him, raw with emotion. But the pack doesn't see what we see. They see enemies where we see hope. Then let us show them, she whispered, stepping closer, their breaths mingling in the cool night air. We can fight for our love together. But what if it leads to war? Asher murmured, the fear of loss weighing heavily on him. What if the goddess punishes our love? Leela's eyes softened, a fierce determination lighting within. Then we all face her together. Love is worth everything. It is worth fighting for it, even against fate. The gravity of her words wrapped around him, grounding him in resolve. Together, no matter what comes. With that, they shared a kiss that felt like a vow, a promise of unbreakable bonds forged in the fires of rebellion. But as they parted, the chill of destiny tightened around them. Asher stood at the edge of the clearing, the full moon casting a silvery glow over his troubled features. He could hear the whispers of his pack in the distance, a blend of uncertainty and betrayal swelling around him like the autumn leaves caught in the wind. The weight of their doubts pressed heavily on his shoulders. Do you really think we can change their minds? Leela's voice broke through his thoughts, soft but steady. She stepped beside him, her presence a soothing balm against the tempest of emotions within him. I don't know, he admitted, his gaze fixed on the horizon where the moonlight kissed the treetops. But I can't just let them dismiss us. Love should not be a crime. He turned to her, the fierce determination in his eyes reflecting the depths of his heart. I will fight for us, no matter what. Leela nodded, a crimson gaze shimmering with unshed tears. But at what cost, Asher? If the goddess imposes her wrath, it will not just be us who suffer. Their pack will bear the brunt of her fury. Then we will protect them too, he said, taking her hands in his, feeling their warmth pulsate against the cool night air. Together, we can challenge her. Our love can bridge two worlds that have been torn apart for too long. Suddenly, a rustle in the underbrush shattered their moment of intimacy. Asher instinctively stepped in front of Leela, his senses heightened. Emerging from the shadows was Ethan, his eyes wide with urgency. Alpha, we need you back. The council is about to make a decision regarding your status. Let them make their decision, Asher replied, his voice unwavering. I won't bow to their expectations any longer. Ethan's gaze flickered nervously between the couple. They're recalling for a vote. If you don't show, they may see it as a sign of weakness. The pack needs to know you're still with them. You're my brother, Ethan. You know I can't abandon Leela. Ethan sighed, the weight of the world hanging on his shoulders. I understand, but we were at a tipping point. They were losing faith in you. Fear is boiling over. If you were absent, they may see you as a traitor, and this could spiral out of control. Asher's heart raced as he pulled away from Leela, torn between his duty as Alpha and his love for the vampire. I need time, he stammered. Time is something we don't have. I'll stand by you, but you have to make a choice, Asher. Ethan's voice was filled with a raw urgency that sent chills down Asher's spine. With a heavy heart, Asher glanced back at Leela, who stood still, her expression a mixture of longing and sorrow. I'll be back. This isn't over. He turned to Ethan, determination surging through him. Lead the way. As they walked back to the pack, Leela's voice reached him, a whisper of wind. Asher, please be careful. He looked over his shoulder, his heart aching. I will, for us. The council was already assembled when he arrived, murmurs of discontent ripping through the gathered wolves. Athena stood at the forefront, her expression a mask of disdain. UV left us wondering, Alpha, is your heart with the vampire or your pack? Asher stood tall, a quiet storm brewing within him. My heart belongs to love, and love knows no boundaries. I will not turn my back on Leela. Gasps echoed through the gathering, shock and outrage igniting the air like a wildfire. You would risk our lives for a vampire, the voice shouted, a member of the council stepping forward, eyes blazing. You are a disgrace to your lineage. Enough. Athena's voice cut through the clamor. Asher, the goddess sees all. You must choose your pack or this monster. She is not a monster. Asher exclaimed, desperation coating his words. Leela is my mate, and she has done nothing but offer peace. You are blinded by hatred, unable to see the truth. But do not forget your duty, Alpha, Athena warned, her voice darkening with each syllable. You endanger us all. If you continue down this path, we will have no choice but to sever ties with you. Then do what you must, he declared, feeling the weight of his pack's collective gaze. But know this, I will fight for my love, I will fight for our future. The tension in the room crackled like a thunderstorm, voices rising in protest. Ethan stepped forward, concern etched in his features. Asher, please, you are risking everything. We can't afford to fracture now, not with the vampire clans threatening our territory. Ethan, you know I love you like a brother, but my heart is bound to Leela. Asher's resolve hardened, the passion fueling his spirit. You can either stand with me or against me, but I will not back down. A profound silence followed his words, a heavy pause that felt like the calm before the storm. Very well, Athena finally said, her voice laced with cold fury. If you choose this path, you must bear the consequences. Asher felt the ground shift beneath him. Consequences, he echoed, dread creeping into his chest. Prepare yourself, Alpha. The goddess will not tolerate betrayal, Thena warned. Then if she punishes you, she punishes us all. Asher could feel the fear in the pack's eyes, the uncertainty radiating from their ranks. He had never felt so alone, yet so connected to Leela's essence. I will face her fury, he vowed, his heart ignited with fierce determination. I will not let fear dictate our love any longer. As the meeting adjourned, he felt the weight of his choice crashing down upon him. He stepped outside, breathing in the night air, desperate for Leela's presence. She was the only thing that felt right in this turbulent storm. Finding her at the edge of the territory, bathed in moonlight, Asher rushed forward. Leela, he called, his heart racing as he closed the distance. Her eyes lit up at his arrival, but the moment was quickly overshadowed by the gravity of the situation. What did they say? She asked, fear trembling in her voice. They demand I choose between love and pack. He took her hands, seeing the worry cloud her features. But I won't turn my back on you, I can see. Tears filled her eyes, shimmering like stars caught in the night sky. Asher, I cannot bear to lose you. I would never forgive myself if the hatred brought you harm. Then let us change the hearts together, he urged, pulling her closer. Let them see we are stronger as one. Love is our greatest weapon. But the goddess? Leela began, her voice quaking with uncertainty. Let her come, Asher pressed, fervor igniting in his chest. We will face her together. Our love can defy the very fabric of fate. As she searched his eyes, Asher felt the world around them fade into the background, the bond between them pulsing with an energy that felt ancient and profound. Together, she whispered, sealing their pact. Just as their lips met in a desperate kiss filled with longing, a growl echoed through the night, a deep and primal sound that rattled the trees. The earth beneath them trembled, and Asher pulled away, his heart sinking. It is the goddess, he breathed, fear creeping into his voice. Shesir. The air grew heavy as a figure materialized from the shadows, shimmering with an ethereal light that cast a long shadow over the grove. The goddess stood before them, her eyes blazing with fury and ancient wisdom. You dare to defy me, Asher? His heart raced, but he stood firm, holding Leela's hand tightly. We choose love, goddess, and we will not walk away from it. Love it. Her laughter was chilling, echoing through the trees. Love is a fragile thread, easily severed. You think you can challenge the laws of the universe? You are a fool, Alpha. Perhaps I am, Asher replied, feeling Leela's courage flow into him. But I refuse to let fear control my heart. I refuse to live in a world where love is punished. The goddess stepped closer, her gaze piercing. Then face the consequences, for they will be dire. Asher felt the air shift, the weight of destiny pressing down on him. Whatever you unleash, we will bear together, he declared, his voice steady. We will not falter. You will be tested, she warned, her voice low and ominous. And if you fail, your love will be your undoing. Asher's heart pounded fiercely in his chest. Then let the test begin. With that, the goddess vanished, leaving behind an ominous silence that hung like a dark shroud over the forest. Do you think she'll truly test us? Leela asked, her voice trembling as she looked up at him, her eyes a mixture of fear and hope. I don't know, he admitted, wrapping his arms around her. The air crackled with tension as the echoes of the goddess's presence faded into the night. Asher held Leela tightly, the gravity of their situation pressing in around them like an unrelenting storm. We will face whatever comes together, he vowed, his voice a husky whisper laced with determination. Leela's eyes shimmered with unshed tears, the vulnerability etched across her delicate features. Asher, what if the test tears us apart? What if we fail? Her voice trembled, the weight of their love threatening to crush her spirit under the burden of uncertainty. He cupped her face, wiping away a single tear that traced down her porcelain cheek. Listen to me, Leela. We are stronger than the forces that seek to divide us. Whatever the goddess throws our way, we'll face it head-on, together. She searched his gaze, something deep within her responding to his unwavering confidence. Together, she echoed, the word barely a breath but infused with a promise that transcended their differences. But the air around them shifted, a sudden chill creeping into the grove as shadows danced along the edges of the clearing. Asher felt it a dark presence lurking just beyond the trees. We need to be cautious, he murmured, sensing the storm brewing on the horizon. The goddess does not take kindly to defiance. As they stepped back into the shadows, a malevolent howl resonated through the forest, echoing like thunder. It sent shivers down Asher's spine. He turned to Leela, his heart racing. We should. Before he could finish, a figure lunged from the underbrush, a sleek black wolf with eyes like molten gold. It landed in front of them, a growl rumbling from deep within its chest. Alpha! Ethan stood tall in his wolf form, fur bristling with alarm. You have to come back. The council is in chaos. Asher's heart sank. I can't leave her, Ethan, you know that. Ethan shifted into his human form, still breathless and fierce. Your pack needs you. They doubt you, Asher. They are recalling for your head. If you don't return, they might not wait for the goddess's test. They might act against Leela. Leela's breath itched as she grasped Asher's arm. They would harm you or me. Asher's gaze hardened, the battle within him raging like wildfire. I want to let them hurt you. I want to let them take you away from me. Ethan's expression softened, concern flooding his eyes. You are not just fighting for your love, Asher. You are fighting for your pack too. If they turn against you, it will fracture everything. We will not be divided, Leela interjected, her voice steady despite the fear dancing behind her eyes. I will not stand idly by while they plot against you. Asher felt a rush of warmth surge in his chest. If they come for you, they come for me too. I'll protect you, no matter the cost. Ethan looked torn, desperation etched in his features. But your Alpha Commander is nothing without love, Asher finished, his voice firm. Leela is my mate. I choose her, and I will not let fear dictate my heart. Then we need to stand together. Ethan finally relented, determination sparking in his eyes. But we must hurry. The council is losing faith in you. With a nod, Asher turned to Leela, the bond between them pulsing with an energy that felt alive. Are you ready? Always, she replied, her voice steady, the flicker of hope igniting her spirit. Together, they stepped into the moonlit path, their fates intertwined like threads of a tapestry woven against the chaos threatening to tear them apart. As they approached the council clearing, tension hung thick in the air. Members of the Blackwood pack stood in tense formation, their expressions a mixture of fear and indignation. The voices of discontent echoed, murmurs spiraling into a cacophony. Asher, you return, Thena's voice rang sharp, cutting through the noise like a knife. And with your traitor's choice at your side? He stepped forward, Leela close behind, determination radiating from him. I will not stand by while our love is condemned. Leela is not our enemy. She is my mate, and she deserves a place among us. This is madness, one council member shouted, an elder wolf whose voice dripped with disdain. You are blinded by lust, Asher. You would sacrifice your pack for a monster. Enough. Thena's sharp tone silenced the crowd. You speak of love, yet it is selfishness that guides your heart. The goddess has warned us of the consequences of your betrayal. The pack murmured in agreement, and Asher felt the weight of doubt flood over him. He stepped closer to the council, his heart pounding. I choose love over hatred. I will not let fear dictate our future. Then face the consequences, Thena warned, her gaze icy and unyielding. You are putting your entire pack in danger. If the goddess has deemed this union unforgivable, we will all suffer. Suddenly, the air shifted, and the ground trembled beneath them. A flash of light erupted in the center of the clearing, and the goddess reappeared, her presence a whirlwind of power and fury. You have defied me, Asher. Asher's heart raced, the air thick with electricity. I stand before you, goddess, not to plead for forgiveness, but to declare my love. I will not turn away from it. The goddess's eyes glimmered like distant stars. You think love can shield you from the universe's laws? Such navet will lead to destruction. No, he declared defiantly, stepping forward. Love is the greatest force in this world. It can heal, it can unite. I refuse to see it as a curse. The goddess's eyes narrowed, a flush of anger crossing her features. Then you shall be tested. I will cast a shadow over your bond, and only when you face it will you see the strength of your love. What kind of test? Leela's voice was strong yet trembling, the uncertainty palpable in the stillness that followed. The test of loyalty, the goddess replied, her voice echoing like thunder. You will journey through the labyrinth of shadows, where the darkest fears and doubts reside. Only when you emerge unscathed will you prove your love's worth. Asher felt a chill creep into his bones. And if we fail? Then your love will be lost forever, and your pack will pay the ultimate price. Enough. Leela's voice rang out, desperation clawing at her heart. We will face this together. We will not allow fear to tear us apart. The goddess regarded them, her expression a tempest of emotions. Then prepare yourselves. The shadows await, and only through trials shall your bond be forged anew. As the goddess faded, the clearing erupted into chaos once more. The pack members whispered amongst themselves, doubt and fear festering like a wound. Ethan stepped close to Asher, his voice low and urgent. You are risking everything. If you falter, I want to falter, Asher interrupted, the fire igniting within him. I will fight for Leela, for us, whatever the shadows throw our way, we'll all face it. Leela reached for his hand, squeezing it tightly. Your strength fuels my courage, Asher. I believe in us. With a shared determination, they took a deep breath, ready to step into the unknown. The path before them shimmered with a dark light, the air thick with uncharted fears. As they traversed into the labyrinth, shadows danced around them, whispering doubts that clawed at their minds. What if this is a mistake? Leela's voice trembled, the fear creeping through her like ice. It is not a mistake, Asher reassured, his grip firm around her hand. We are meant to be together. We cannot let these shadows consume us. But the shadows spun tales of doubt echoing through their minds. You will fail. You are not strong enough to overcome the darkness. Your love is fleeting. Asher shook his head, fighting back the darkness that sought to envelop them. We will not be defined by fear. We are bound by love. Leela's strength surged through him, her spirit intertwining with his. They pressed forward, their hearts beating in unison. The shadows stretched, forming monstrous figures that loomed before them, each representing their deepest fears. You will lose everything, one hissed, its voice a sinister whisper. The back will turn against you, and you will be alone. Math? Asher shouted, stepping forward defiantly. We are stronger together. I choose love over fear. The shadows writhed, and suddenly they found themselves in the council clearing once more, with the pack gathered, eyes filled with distrust. You are a traitor, the voice echoed, and Asher felt the weight of betrayal crushing him. Leela's hand squeezed his tighter. We won't let them break us. We will fight for our love. Asher turned to her, a fire igniting in his spirit. Together we will show them. We will prove that love